Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age 2 with Chaos Counseling. I am really excited to be back to this game because I think I've said many times this is my personal favorite Dragon Age game. So, yeah, so that's exciting. Hold on. There.
It's pretty here at night.
Give me some dialogue. Make sure that the audio is coming through on a good level. Yep. Okay. Alright, the audio sounds good. So, just to recap, well, I kind of just wasted a lot of time last time, because it's like, okay, I want to advance Varix, or not advance Varix, it's like, I want to recruit Fenris, but there was a dialogue option that would cause me to lose friendship with Aveline, so I had to be like, okay, let's go recruit other characters. So now we're just gonna continue, just to finish recruiting characters.
No Templars so far.
Which means we're probably in trouble. Yeah.
I didn't see anyone suspicious out here. Let's do this fast.
Don't be suspicious.
Right.
Don't be
I'll
suspicious.
handle the talking. You watch for Templars.
I spy with my little eye something beginning with Templar. Again, I really do love the scene transitions in this game.
When we find Carl, just let me talk to him.
By the way,
Anders, I know you too well. I knew you would never give up.
What's wrong? Why are you talking like...
I was too rebellious, like you. The Templars knew I had to be made an example of.
No!
How else will mages ever master themselves? You'll understand, Anders.
So,
as soon as the Templars teach you to control yourself.
if you remember from Dragon Age Awakening...
No!
Sorry, we'll touch more on that in a second.
You will never take another mage as you took him.
Yeah, okay, I'll get back to that. But if you remember in Dragon Age Awakening, Anders mentioned that the only reason why he hasn't been made tranquil yet, given that he escaped the circle 9 times, is he passed his harrowing. And once a mage passes their harrowing, the Templars are no longer allowed to make them tranquil. It's like, no, they've proven themselves that they can control their magic. That guy also passed his harrowing, given the fact that, I mean, you saw how old he was, and, I mean, since we didn't do, like, the harrowing happens, like, when you're in your 20s. So, the fact that the Templars made an adult man tranquil...
Anders, what did you do?
...is meant to emphasize how corrupt the Chantry here
you brought
is.
a piece of the Fade into this world. I had already forgotten what that feels like.
What did you do? Not the Fade part. The angry, glowing bit.
It's like a gateway to the Fade inside you, glowing like a beacon.
I have some unique circumstances, yes. But Carl, what happened? How did they get you?
The Templars here are far more vigilant than in Ferelden. They found a letter I was writing you. You cannot imagine it, Anders. All the color, all the music in the world, gone. I would gladly give up my magic. But this... I'll never be whole again. Please, kill me before I forget again. I don't know how you brought it back, but it's fading.
Carl, no!
Maybe we can find a cure.
Can you cure a beheading? The dreams of tranquil mages are severed. There is nothing left of them to fix.
I would rather die a mage than live as a Templar puppet.
I would rather die than be tranquil. Help him.
I got here too late. I'm sorry, Carl. I'm so sorry.
The sad thing is, you
Now,
actually
it's fading.
do find out in the third game
Why do you
there
look at me
is a
like
cure
that?
for tranquility. It's just something the Chantry deliberately keeps from mages in order to make them
Goodbye.
not look for a cure after their friends are made tranquil.
We should leave before more Templars come.
And given what we learn about the fourth game, when it because like so, being made tranquil, cutting your people off from the fade, it makes it so that they can no longer have dreams, and it was kind of said right there. And this is expanded upon in later games as well. Dwarfs can't dream at all because dwarfs do not have magic. So yeah, stripping away someone's ability to dream, and again, especially learning what we learn about the fade in the fourth game, is fucked. Like,
So, let me guess. This is the part where you tell me you're an abomination?
You're wrong. But not far wrong.
no, we technically are right.
This is hard to explain. When I was in Amaranthine, I met a spirit of justice who was trapped outside the Fade. We became friends, and he recognized the injustice that mages in Thedas face every day.
And that's different than a demon.
Just as demons prey on the deadly sins of mankind, there are good spirits who embody our virtues.
Yes.
Spirits of compassion, fortitude, justice. They are the Maker's first children, and they have all but given up on us.
What does this have to do with your eyes glowing?
To live outside the Fade, he needed a host. I offered to help him. We were going to work together, bring justice to every child ever ripped away from his mother to be sent to the Circle. But I guess I had too much anger. Once he was inside me, he changed.
So, you have this spirit of justice living in your head?
It's not like that. He's gone now. He's part of me. It's not like we can have a conversation. I feel his thoughts as my own. Not even the greatest scholar could tell you where I end and he begins.
That really didn't look like a happy, benevolent spirit from where I was standing.
The Templars will think the same. We're friends with a monster.
Since when is justice happy? Justice is righteous. Justice is hard.
Of course. No harm ever comes from good intentions, even when magic is involved.
Normally, I would argue that. I wanted to do well by justice, I really did. But my anger, when I see Templars now, things that have always outraged me, but I could never do anything about, he comes out. And he is no longer my friend, Justice. He is a force of vengeance, and he has no grasp of mercy.
Can justice ever be separated from you?
I don't think so. The only way a spirit has ever been separated from a living host is by its death. The curse is of my own making. All I can do now is hope to control it.
Can you bring him out at will?
No. He comes only when I've lost all power over myself. It's a madness, a frenzy. I only find out after what I might have done.
Wow. Your problems make mine seem small.
Here. These are all the documents I have for this area. I can understand if you would rather me not join you personally. I cannot control my need for vengeance. I would ask no one to take on the danger of traveling with me. I will be here in my clinic if you need me.
Yeah, I'm good with the party I got. Alright, that is... You know what? Let's do Carver's quest since we're here. Wait, what quest is that? Yeah, let's do Carver's quest. So... How do I put this? Minor spoilers, I guess, but this is more world building. You find out in the third game that the way that the spirits in Dragon Age work is spirits and demons are actually the same thing. It's just when a spirit encounters a human, an elf, a dwarf who have like overwhelming negative emotions, they then warp into demons. So I do wonder, it's like, how much of that is like retconned and how much that wasn't a thing at this point in the game. But this. So his explanation, he's like, I'm not an abomination because Justice isn't a demon, isn't true. Because once, sure, Justice entered his body more amicably than an atypical demonic possession, but no, Anders is possessed by a demon, because once Justice entered his body and was warped into vengeance, he became a demon. Because something that Solus, who is my absolute favorite Dragon Age character, by the way, don't at me, you're wrong. Yeah, I know that's a hot take. Yes, I know what he did in Dragon Age 4. Yeah. Should it be? I digress. We'll get there when we get there. He makes it very clear that all demons, like how Anders said Justice got corrupted into vengeance through his anger. Like, desire demons, if I remember correctly, are spirits of desire. Shoot, blunt brain. Are spirits of
The Amel Crest, I think.
shoot, I've lost it. Basically, demons are good spirits that embody good virtues that get corrupted when they're exposed to the negative emotions of mankind. Now, does that mean that any spirit who encounters humans, elves, dwarves will instantly turn to a demon? Well, no, not at all. But Anders is an abomination, regardless of what he says. That's not inherently a bad thing, because we do see in a later game there's another character who is possessed by a spirit. But unlike Anders, where he like basically fuses with vengeance, this character actually is able to keep himself somewhat separate from the spirit possessing him. It's interesting, to say the very least. Yeah, I had more of a point I was trying to make with that, but I kind of lost it.
I love doing.
But yeah, it should probably go without saying at this point,
Has to be the vault.
but since I did say a big part of this game deals with the
So this is it.
friction between
Grandfather's will.
the Templars and the
Let's
Mages,
just take it back to Mother and be done with it.
I don't think there's any point in delaying the news.
the Tranquil play a bit more. I mean, can only think of like 2 instances where we actually see a Tranquil in the story, but keep them in mind as you play through the game. Because I could see that there was supposed to be more Tranquil planned to be in the game, but
saying,
due to the
blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
I kind of
Maybe just put something towards food.
I don't
should be
think
paying
Gamlen's
us,
completely
Uncle.
out of line here,
We
but
found the will.
at the same time,
Grandfather left everything to Mother and us. I guess he had some sense after all. See for yourself.
I should maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues. A
check out the part where Gamlen is left only a stipend, to be controlled by you.
That's fucked. Look,
Gamlen, how could you?
I'm not saying what Gamlen did is okay, but...
What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is.
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
I'm sorry. I'm not saying Gamlen's in the right, but he's not wrong either.
If it wasn't for the Blight, would we ever have come back here?
I always thought I would. But I suppose you three are Ferelden to your toes.
Look, sister, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And there's nothing I can do to get it back.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make a willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
I do love the mother. Look, again, Gamlen is not in the right here, but he's also not wrong. That's kind of fucked what their parents did to leave everything to the daughter who...
Keep it down, dog.
Kind of abandoned the estate, abandoned the family.
All that noisy dog breath, day in, day out. Make him stop.
Well, pardon my
To
dog
only
for
give
breathing.
Gamlen, like,
Think you
pennies?
can stop and be my guest.
That kind of sucks.
There. Ah, Blight, take it.
Yeah. And like I said, it's like, should he have done it? Well, no. Again, I do want to emphasize, I don't think he is in the right either, but I do not think we can, at least I can't in good conscience embrace the level of shade that I feel the game is like implying we should feel towards Gamlen. Because I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's kind of fucked what the parents did. Just not giving him anything, you know?
So, what? Are you here to gloat?
And it's like...
Gamlen's the idiot again. Gamlen's the fool who can't hold his money when it's given in a bloody silver basket. I tried, you know, when Leandra left. But no one was ever going to live up to her.
Yeah.
I've seen the nobles in this town. Your parents must have had a fortune. Where did it all go?
Well, it's not like I stood at the side of the wharf and hurled it over. I tried to invest it. I got some good tips on trade in Kunari cheeses. And, you know, a man's got needs. I'm not denying I spent more on myself than I should have, but I figured it'd all work out.
I'm sure you did your best.
Don't butter me up, sweetie. I changed their filthy sheets and wiped their chins through 2 bouts of the cholera, and the last word Father said was...
Yeah.
Leandra.
Again, I am not...
Love, but at least I got the money.
I can't not say what Gamlen did was okay. But I don't think he was outright... I am not going to vilify him for it, because... quite frankly, what the parents did is kind of fucked too. So, I'm sorry, I am a Gamlen apologist. If you guys hate him, bully for you. I cannot, in good conscience, actually throw shade on Gamlen too much.
Lord Carver.
We're still a long way from cowing Templars with our titles, sister.
You could slap on a smile for a few days. For her sake.
She's not interested in what I think. She wants to provide for us, and you're making sure it happens. And when we're done, I don't know, I guess we'll sit around thinking about how great we used to be. Mother didn't even want that life back until we got dumped here. And you only care because we're under Templar scrutiny.
You hating everything I do is really losing its charm.
Sure, make light. Why take anything seriously? You're the eldest. You lead by default.
I don't see you taking the reins.
When should I do that? When I'm following you around, or when I'm caring for Mother while you tame mighty Kirkwall? Besides, we both know what happens when someone leaves dear sister's protection. I'm sure Bethany would appreciate that you're keeping good humor.
Fun's fun, but you're taking this little pissing match too far.
What? You don't like someone making a joke out of everything you are?
I don't see the humor in digging up Bethany so you can hide behind her, too. Well, good talk.
Sister. I feel... I don't know. It's like Mother taking everything out on us. She was just scared. I don't have a place in the life she is trying to bring back. I'm here if you need me. But I must find my own way.
Yeah, Anders is being... Or not Anders. Carver's being kind of an ass, but... Again, I think that's why I like him.
I was marrying your father. She threatened to disown me.
Again, he's
She said
got
my children
layers.
would be mongrels. My father wanted to lock me in, but she told him it's her life. Let her ruin it. I wrote to her when each of you were born. She never wrote back. I'm glad she didn't die hating me.
Your mother's dead. Let it go.
When I was a girl, your grandmother was the young, beautiful, noble mother all my friends wished they had. She might have had a hard time accepting it at first, but she would have loved you, all three of you. Oh, Bethany. She was such a sweet little girl. Never cried.
Oh, so she was a
Just looked at
sociopath.
you with those big eyes.
Bethany would want you to move on, Mother. Be happy about what we have.
I just keep thinking there's something we could have done. It's killing me. I remember that awful creature reaching down and 18 years of loving and feeding and raising, and that was it.
At least you're past the it's all your fault thing.
I'm sorry, love. I was distraught. I never really believed that. It's just... I miss her. There were 4 of us when the Blight began. It will never be over while there are just 3. I've written to the Viscount. I've an audience for after Bartrand's expedition leaves. I couldn't do anything for Bethany, but with luck, I can at least give us a home. I've had word from they are
I'm with you, sister. For now.
That's all I can ask for, man. Alright, let's go back to the Hanged Man, just in the off chance Isabella's there now. Alright. Varric, Fenris, Carver. I need... Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I've got access to a lot now. Yeah, Hangman first. Again, I'm hoping, since getting Meryl at... Here we go. There we go. I had to have got... I think it was just you had to get Meryl and Anders first to trigger Isabella.
You owe us, Isabella.
Well, Lucky, I'll tell you what. Since the information you gave me was worth nothing, that's what I'll pay you.
Me and my boys will get our money's worth, bitch.
Oh, you poor sweet thing.
It's like, yep, just... I kind of feel that this is meant to be sort of a... a more cinematic
Tell me, Lucky,
do-over
is this
of her
worth
introduction
going
in the first game, or her cameo in the first game, I guess. Yeah, I definitely prefer Isabella's voice actor in this game.
I didn't.
Not that the actress in the first game did bad, it just, she was a little more generic. Whereas, okay, Varric, we can do your quest first, or your conversation first real quick.
So, I've been dying to know, what was going through your head when you fought that ogre?
For the first few seconds. What do they feed those things?
I don't know anyone else that's even seen one. You're lucky just to be standing here. Somehow, Hawk, I imagine things won't be dull with you around. Not that I expect the deep roads to be boring, mind you. Constant threat of doom does tend to keep you awake.
A lot of things can keep you awake, you know. I wouldn't reach for the doom first.
Sure, I could have a cup of tea in the morning.
Okay.
But I hear it's bad for you.
So,
I've spent my whole life in
just for
Kirkwall.
the sake
Dangerous
of
enough most days, but it doesn't compare to the deep roads.
making sure that she sticks
this will
around,
be-
I am going to be using an
just call
approval
it
guide for
an
Isabella
adventure,
just
I
in
guess.
case.
Great. Now we're adventurous.
Mostly just due to the fact that, unlike what I said with Aveline, if you do the bare minimum, you'll get what you need to get the best outcome with Aveline. Isabella does require a little more work, because in my first
You're
playthrough,
new
I...
around here, aren't you? Welcome, and keep your wits about you. You're nothing but tits and arse to the men in this place, and they won't hesitate to grab at both.
Speaking from experience, are we?
After a few broken fingers here and there, they got the idea. I'm Isabella. Previously Captain Isabella. Sadly, without my ship, the title rings a bit hollow.
I
You're
do
Ferelden, aren't
have
you?
mixed feelings
have
about
that look
Isabella's
about you.
redesign.
I was in Denerim not too long ago.
Um,
You know, you might be just what I'm looking for to solve a little problem I have.
Now, I will say, I do like the design from the waist up, but how do I put this? I've never been sure how I felt. So, Isabella is meant to be a very sexually liberated woman, but she wears the most sexual outfit, or the most sexy outfit in the game. So, I always have just been worried. I'm like, okay, is this a straight guy's horny fantasy about what a bisexual woman is like, you know? But by the same token, I could imagine that some women would find it empowering. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about her new design. But I like her as a character.
Can't anyone fix their own lives around here?
Must be something in the water. Someone from my past has been pestering me. I've arranged for a duel. If I win, he leaves me alone. But I don't trust him to play fair. I need someone to watch my back.
What makes you think I'm right for this?
You saw me talking to Lucky, didn't you? Those boys couldn't manage simple information gathering. I can't trust the riffraff in this place to do anything right. But you're different.
And you know that, well, I guess she...
You wanted information from Lucky. What was it?
I asked Lucky and his boys to track down something I lost. They failed to do it. It's nothing to worry about, and this is much more important.
I think I could manage watching your back.
I'll bet. I've arranged to meet Hader in Hightown after dark. I'll meet you there.
By the way, if you do want to maximize, what's it called? I keep forgetting what that symbol painted on the wall means. I do recommend, how do I put this? If you don't plan on romancing Sebastian or Fenris, flirting with Isabella is a good way of upping her approval, because if you flirt with her twice, she'll come back to your house in Act 2, and you have a chance to bonk her. And being like, hey, that was fun, but let's move on with our lives. Good way to get some high approval. But if you want to romance Fenris or Sebastian, because they won't romance you if you've bonked anyone else in the game, which I'm like, got mixed feelings about that, but I digress. Don't flirt with her at all, because you'll lose approval if she comes back to your mansion and you don't want to sleep with her.
I've been here for hours. Hader hasn't shown up. No one has. I don't like this.
I don't like this. That's right up there with what could possibly go wrong.
That's the wench we're looking for. Gut her.
Convenient they waited until like right now to attack. Oh yeah, so just look at the way Isabella fights in this game. Like, again, I don't ever usually play a rogue just because there are too many goddamn rogues in this game. But man, I love just visually how the rogues fight in this game. They're actually, heck, just even, well, you get it more from the fighter, or like the sword and shield fighters, but I'll show it later.
He just sent them. So, hiding in the chantry and sending thugs to finish me off.
Let's see, Fenris. But yeah, again, the two-handed weaponry is still a little slower, but compared to how slow the combat was in the first and third game, when it came to the fighters, if you're going to be a warrior, this is usually, well, actually, from what I've only played through the fourth game once, but I was a mage when I did. Abby did play a fighter, and it was visually cool to look at, so yeah, if you want to be a fighter or a warrior in Dragon Age, 2 and 4 are usually the best ones, at least from a visual standpoint, because there's visually a lot more to feast on. It was like being a fighter in the first game, it's slow, it's kind of dull. I mean, then again, the combat in the first game in general was just slow and kind of dull. Just Rogue was always the least dull to me, due to having the most, utility. I know, I'm being silly talking about what's visually stimulating rather than what's good utility. But I play these games on casual because I like playing them for the story and the character interactions, not the tactical combat or whatever. Then again, if I played on PC,
Isabella,
I
should've
maybe
known
would
you'd
get more into
find
the
me
tactical
here.
stuff, but
Tell your men to burn the letters next time.
Castillon was heartbroken when he heard about the shipwreck. You should have let him know you survived.
It must have slipped my mind.
Where's the relic?
I lost it. Castillon's just going to have to do without.
Lost it? Just like you lost a ship full of valuable cargo?
They weren't cargo, Hader. They were people.
Those slaves were worth 100 sovereigns a head, and you let them scurry off into the wilds. And now the relic's gone too. Castillon won't be happy to hear that. I promise you.
Will someone explain what's going on?
Isabella's been a very bad girl. Ruined a perfect business deal, and then ran away. She didn't tell you?
I told her enough. I said I arranged for a duel, which I did. I also said you wouldn't play fair, which you didn't. We can talk later if you want. Right now, we have other problems.
Cassian isn't a very happy person, is he? Maybe he needs a new hobby.
like being dead.
There's only one way to settle this.
Yeah, so the mages in Dragon Age Inquisition or Dragon Age 3, they retain, like, what's it called? The way that, like, the animation that I'm currently doing when I attack, that carries over into the third game, whereas the rogues, they don't fight in a crazy way like Isabella is now, and neither do the fighters, sadly, or the warriors or whatever. That being said, the rogues do attack quicker, for lack of a better word, than they did in the first game, so it's not bad. I'm not definitively sure what class I'm going to play for Inquisition,
Ask questions later.
but
Trust
since
me,
they do have
it's
a much
better
better
this way.
spread of character classes
Castillon
all across the
won't hear
board.
about me from Hader, but he'll find me eventually. I just have to get him the relic. Simple as that.
What's so interesting about the relic?
I don't really know what it is, except that it's ancient and worth my weight in gold. Castillon has me chasing it down as payback for freeing his slaves. To be honest, I think he just wants me dead, but that would be letting me off easy.
Okay, I have missed a couple instances of gaining approval with Isabella in Act 1, just since...
What's this about you freeing slaves?
Well, there's still...
I was asked to escort Castillon's cargo ship. I got a bad feeling about the job partway through. Boarded the ship to find slaves. Nearly 200. Elves, humans, children even. It was sickening. They paid Castillon to take them away from the Blight. He took their money and sold them into slavery. Even I can see that's wrong.
If getting the relic gets Castillon off your back, then I'll help you retrieve it.
Because you're supposed to be my
I still don't know
BFF.
where it is, but you'll be the first to know if I hear anything. Anyway, thanks for helping me out with Hader. I think I'll tag along for a while. There might be something I could do for you. And I have a room at the Hanged Man if you're looking for company later.
Yeah. Again, I don't mind Isabella's character for the most part. Like I said, she's meant to be just a very sexually liberated, sexually confident woman, and I don't have a problem with that. I'm always just not... I've just never been completely sure about her characterization. I've always just been worried, is she being fetishized? Like, is this really how a sexually confident woman would be, or is this a straight pervert's dream of, it's like, ooh, bisexual women, that sexually liberated bisexual women, that means they just want to have sex with everyone and everything, right? I don't know. I do know I do like Isabella. Like, I really do. It's just I don't always know if I should. If that makes any sense whatsoever. I'm sticking with. Yeah, that's okay. I think I can drop these bows since I don't. The only one who can use a bow in this game is what's his name, Sebastian, and he doesn't join for a while still. So I just don't want to be lugging that around. Oh, I should probably have waited until after I had looted everyone, because maybe what I just got is better than what I gave Isabella. Not what I meant. Come back. Where is it? Wait. Where is it? I don't want to junk that. There it is. Yeah, I know I can put a rune on it, but I'll be able to get much better items later that I can also put a rune on. Alright. Hightown. Man, they smoked some good shit out here in this Hightown. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I was trying to decide who I wanted to romance in Dragon Age Inquisition, because there's a couple I do like. But the more I sit on it, the more I think I am going to do Solus. Just because I do kind of want to show people... Excuse me. I do want to kind of show people that, because I know a lot of people have never done that and don't really like Solus very much. Justifiably so. I can admit that. But just kind of show what that actually has, you know? Plus, arguably, it's a good way to avoid nudity. Because Dragon Age Inquisition, like Mass Effect Andromeda, actually started showing the women be topless, or some of the women be topless, you know? And since I do actively try to avoid showing nudity on this channel, despite that particular faux pas that happened in Baldur's Gate 3, that there's a reason why that well, there's a number of reasons why that episode is unlisted and will never be relisted, but
I think
I digress. Yeah, I have all the characters now, save Sebastian. So, I don't remember if I can actually, you know what, there's a shop in here, and I want to double check the shops again, just in case now that I have all the characters, the armor upgrades and whatnot will show up in the shops now. But yeah, let's do the herbalist task here real quick. Then we're gonna go to the Wounded Coast to deal with the Talvishoth and whatever the other quest on the Wounded Coast was. And then remind me, because I don't want to forget before it's over. Like, before we end the stream, I do want to... Oh, wait, maybe... Actually, maybe I can't do... Hold on, journal. Herbalist's task. Okay, I do need to go back and talk to Isabella. Okay. Okay. Okay, Ironbark. I'm pretty sure is the reason I need to be here. I wonder what happened to cause them to lose their Hala. Hold on. Sorry, Abby is at work, and unfortunately she's going to be at work for 12 hours, so she just needed to coordinate when I could bring her food.
Do you have any pure ironbark in stock?
What use is ironbark to you? I've never met a Shem who could bend it to his will. Either way, I'm out of stock. I do know where it can be found, but it is impossible to retrieve. Our people were forbidden from venturing to the area after we lost 2 of our best hunters there.
What happened that warriors as skilled as the Dalish refused to venture to the area?
Your respect for our hunters is most surprising, stranger. The place is overrun by darkspawn. If we tried to eradicate them, we would risk the precious few hunters we have left.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll show you where the area is. What you do with the information is up to you.
Thank you, but I do want to see...
returned. Is there something you need?
Yes.
Are you a special?
A Dalish crafter does many things. We create weapons, armor.
No, okay.
A Dalish crafter.
Wait, right.
Of course.
There's that is what I sell. Sell. All right, sell all junk. Thankfully, this game doesn't have you carrying as many little odds and ends, you know, clogging up your inventory like the first game did. Thank God. Sure, I'll buy that. So, yeah, you're not going to be as drowning in items with no real way of filling up or not filling up of no real way of emptying your pockets like the first game. I'm not saying that that can't happen. It's just it is much less likely to happen. Okay. Journal.
I thought all Danish clans had them.
Very different from other elves.
Oh, you know more?
No, I just... There's no denying.
So one thing I will say that, I mean, I could be wrong about this, but I don't think I am, is that, so in the first game, I mean, I've always just used swords in the first Dragon Age game as a rogue. I've never really bothered with the maces or the axes, mostly just because there's so many better swords in the game, but the hammers and the swords you get in this game for the fighters, I don't really see a difference. Like, as we kind of saw in the first game, there was, yeah, axes didn't deal as much damage, but they had a higher crit rate or something like that. I don't 100% remember offhand. Okay. There's Herbalist task. Sure, let's do that. But swords and hammers, I don't remember them having a huge difference in this game. It mostly, I just remember it being based on attack power. I mean, that's fine, but it is another criticism. Again, I'll defend this game till I'm blue in the face, but I do at the very least want to acknowledge, I do try to at the very least be aware of the criticisms about the games I enjoy, just so I can stay impartial about them. Because it's a problem if you put in your head, or you get in your head this idea that just because you like something, that's the golden standard that it needs to live up to, you know? And even then, it's like, how do I put this? I know a lot of people have actually said that the last couple Pokemon games are trash, and Game Freak and Nintendo need to do better, and there is some truth to that. Like, I've seen, like, I haven't experienced them completely by myself, but some of the frame rate issues and glitches, especially in Scarlet and Violet, yeah, those are not acceptable, and they shouldn't be in the game. But for me, at least, I'm like, everything else that the game does good makes up for them. But again, that's because I care about other things. And like a super duper 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 smooth 100% of the time experience is not something that I 100% need, as long as it doesn't break the game for me, you know? Because, I mean, heck, I actually was able to have a decent amount of fun playing Sonic 06. Would I ever go back to it? Well, fuck no, but like, in most of Shadow's levels, outside of when his dash attack was malfunctioning and causing me to die on repeat, and most of Silver's levels, when I didn't have to push that fucking ball around, I'm like, I had fun despite how jank it was. But again, I'll be the first to acknowledge I technically have different priorities. I don't know if there is a conversation I can have with this guy to be like, hey, I got some iron bark, do you want some, broski? But let's find out. Then again, I have really kind of begun to learn more and more. I very frequently have and maintain very unpopular opinions about a lot of things. Because, what's it called? One of my biggest... So, I love Power Rangers. I was, I think, maybe 1 year old when it first came out, so I literally was raised on Power Rangers. Like, it's surreal to me that Power Rangers has...
You've returned. Is there something you need?
Oh, no.
Of course.
It's kind of surreal to me now that Power Rangers, at least the ongoing series, is now over. Fuck you, Hasbro. Hell, when Jason David Frank passed away, I couldn't handle it. I spiraled pretty hard, and it took me like months to get over it. Because again, he was such... I looked up to him hard when I was little. But I think my least favorite season, and I think one of the worst seasons in the show's history, is Power Rangers Mystic Force. But everywhere I look, I see people singing its praises as one of the best seasons, which I'm like, what are you guys seeing in this season? It sucks. Again, I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying not to foist my opinions on others, but I really cannot. I genuinely cannot see what people like about that show.
So this red...
Because anytime, like, I see people say, oh, I liked this, I'm like... But I'm like, oh, hold on. Just anytime I see people list something they like, I'm like, but that's one of the negatives about the show. I don't know. I'm being too close-minded, I can acknowledge that, but... At the same time, I've gone on record that I think Tales of Vesperia is one of the worst games I've ever played. And is probably the game that I hate more than any other game on the planet. And a lot of people will list it as one of their favorite, if not their favorite, Tales game. And I will never, ever get that mindset. Ooh, new quest. Okay. Maybe I was wrong what I said. I mean, yeah, the elf fruit's going to be nowhere near as plentiful. Is nowhere near as plentiful in this game as it was in the first and the third. But maybe it's not as rare as my brain told me it was. Oh, once we're done here, let's kind of do a quick tour to companions. I know I said I would do that at the end, but given that I need to talk to both Isabella and Anders for more quests, just to check back in on Fenris and Meryl, just so I don't miss their quests. Oh, we got a Mabari. I know, my dad tells me that all the time. Thank you for reminding me. Dead messenger.
Messages for the wardens. They probably paid for the
Yeah, let's exploit the warden, you know, the savior of the world. Shoe fly don't bother me. Oh, wait. Wow. Carver and Fenris mopped those guys up, and I didn't even notice that they'd killed the rest of them. Yeah. Sorry, my brain is now thinking, like, okay, which character... Again, what do I want to play in the third game? Because I do probably plan on romancing a mage. It's like, so I probably shouldn't play a mage, but by the same token... You still have access to You still have access to 4 characters in the third game, so it really wouldn't be the end of the world to have 2 mages that I'm actively using in the party. But by the same token, the third game has one of my favorite mage,
Would you also like me to make pigs fly?
bugger. Does have one of my absolute favorite, mage subclasses. It's the Chantry themed one, and while I don't really like the Chantry very much, as Abby and call it, you get a lightsaber if you play that subclass in the third game, and it's fun. I don't really remember the subclasses you get for the rogues. They left that little of an impact on me. And then the fighters, I think it's Templar. It's either Berserker or Reaver. I don't remember what it's called specifically. Templar, Berserker, or Champion, I think is what it's called. So it's basically, a fighter who can help take down mages. Sacrifice, defense for damage, and lots of defense, you know? So it's like, eh. Okay, one thing I will concede about every Dragon Age game besides the first one, and yes, I know I've said that the first Dragon Age game is my least favorite for a number of reasons. It's the only one where the subclasses really stick out in my brain in any meaningful way. Because, yeah, the subclasses aren't as interesting as the games go on. And I'm not just saying that because, the Arcane Warrior is only in the first game or whatever. I'm just saying they just didn't, like, even in the fourth game where they were a lot more visually interesting, I don't really remember too much about what the subclass I went with really brought to the table compared to anything else. I don't know. Because while the fighter subclasses in the first game, I don't remember a ton. I remember at least some of the subclasses in the first game for every other class. Because, like, the mages definitely had the most distinct subclasses in the first game. From, like, the Spirit Healer to the Arcane Warrior to the Shapeshifter, even though I never used a Shapeshifter. I remember all of them, and I remember what most of them... Well, I've never really used the Blood Mage, so I don't really know what that does.
Here we go again.
But, yeah, I remember the Duelist pretty well for the Rogue. I remember the Ranger. I don't really know what the Bard does, because I've never really used it. I remember the Assassin. But, yeah... I do know, regardless of what I end up doing, I'm probably going to play an elf again in the third game, just since, unfortunately, so if you want to romance Cullen, you have to be a human or elf. If you want to romance Solus, you have to be an elf.
Ambushes are usually quieter, Kunari.
I did not intend to ambush. I expected to warn a caravan, but you are not helpless. The path ahead is littered with my kind. If you are as skilled as you look, it would please me if you killed them.
So, what's what I'm looking for? If you play an aggressive Hawk, you can actually guilt this guy into fighting with you, and I've only ever actually done that once, because I've only ever played an aggressive Hawk once. But just a little bit of trivia, just that I thought I'd share, just to emphasize that there are benefits of playing Hawk in different ways.
And I should trust you.
I have no history of betraying your people, only my own. I did not like my role, so I left the Cube. I do not wish to be a murdering thief, so I left these Talvishoth to warn their victims. You are no victim, so now I will leave.
Yeah.
What's the trick, Talvishoth?
The path ahead is thick with my kind. They revel in chaos, and will give you the battle you appear to want. If telling you that is a trick, it is a poor one. I am new to decisions outside my role, human. I have decided to warn you. Do what you will.
Yeah. I
Just don't understand.
missed the part of this quest where I could have got... Well, I only could have gotten approval from Isabella on this quest earlier in the quest. So, I can kind of choose whatever I want without risk of disapproval or whatever. You know, kind of just going back to it, given the fact that you can flirt with Aveline, I wonder if she was planned to be a romance at one point, but they thought it would be more interesting if she was a character that couldn't be romanced or whatever. Don't know. Just a thought. Because there are characters in this game and the next game that you can flirt with, but you can't ever actually romance them. And honestly, that's a little bit of world building and just consistent that I do like, because it's like in real life you're not gonna be compatible with everyone you meet, so I can kind of appreciate, for lack of a better word, that realism, you know. Now, I do just wish more games would allow polyamory in some extent. Not that that's necessarily something I would personally go for or I'm interested in at all, but I know plenty of people who are polyamorous, and they would love some more representation in mainstream media.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'd like to, sweet thing, but I can't.
Yeah, that is one downside about using any rogue other than Varric. It takes... They can't always pick the locks right away.
How about you? I am not cleaning this.
Oh. More baddies appeared out of nowhere. Right. I always forget that I can go down there for some reason. Ugh, that's a big boy right there. One second. Found, stop malfunctioning. I just want to quickly... Okay. All is well. You know, I wish my life was less busy, that I could properly unplug during live streams, you know, but such is life.
Go down!
You know, it is funny to my brain that despite the fact that, sure, they're not Kunari anymore, they're Talvishoth, but Kunari are trained from such a young age to be, like, elite warriors in whatever role they fill. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've got such cool main character boss energy that just me and a couple of my friends can just stroll into an entire camp filled with, you know, Kunari dissenters and just mop them up. Oh man, I miss being the party's rogue, being able to just see everything. Because yeah, I do. The third game does, for lack of a better, have better. I guess I think because kind of like I mentioned in this stream, I feel like the first game really punishes you for playing a fighter because of how many fighters you can get in the game, or between the dog and Shale, there are just enough fight characters to fill the fighter role, you know? And this game, there are too many goddamn rogues, so don't be a rogue because you've got enough characters to cover that. The third game and the fourth game do a much better job of giving you a completely even spread with the... what's it called? With the classes you have access to. Because in the third game, you get 3 rogues, 3 mages, and 3 fighters. In the fourth game, you get 2 of each. And I appreciate that. Now, granted, in an attempt to balance the classes out, the fourth game kind of stripped away the need and the necessity of each class, in my opinion. The fourth game made a couple choices in regards to classes and combat that I'm not the biggest fan of. But I do feel Veilguard gets more hate than it actually deserves. That being said, Veilguard was not a 10-year wait. It wasn't good enough for the 10-year wait in between games that it took, because Veilguard took over 10 years. I think, if I remember correctly, Inquisition came out in 2013 or 2014. Veilguard came out in 2024. So that's a 10 to 11 year gap in between Dragon Age games. And I liked it. But it wasn't worth the wait. If it had come out in 3 years, you know, the same gap in between all the other Dragon Age games, I could have looked the other way as I'm like, I liked it fine. But unfortunately, as it stands, I can't look the other way. I have to judge it as a game that, you know, was built anticipation for a decade or more. And it just wasn't what the fans were waiting for. Plus, I really have to question the decision that they made with Dragon Age Inquisition, or not Inquisition, of Dragon Age Veilguard to copy notes from the Mass Effect series. I know that Dragon Age and Mass Effect have kind of been taking notes from each other through their entire existence. That's not the problem. The problem I have with it is that I loved the fact that in Dragon Age you always had 4 companions, and you could shift control between any of the companions. Veilguard takes the Mass Effect route where you only can bring 2 companions, and you don't get to control them. Like, you can issue orders, but you don't actually get to control them. And that just is a little disappointing to me. Because it works fine in a game like Mass Effect that's a third-person shooter. The type of gameplay is different, to say the very least. But I digress. I'm rambling. Oh yeah, I just realized we've never been to the... There is a shop here that I still need to interact with, and I haven't done that yet, so I should do that. Oh man. I say this a lot while live streaming, but it's still always fucking true. That stretch feels really... Those morning stretches feel really good. Oh. Yeah, I feel good. I feel good. All right. Before we do the black powder promise stuff, we are... Like I said, I remembered there was a shop over here.
Captain a ship. That's a lot of men to handle for you to command.
Well, aren't you just adorable, fumbling for a topic?
You say that like I'm harmless.
As harmless as a pup. I'm sorry, I don't speak never get sex again.
That was weird.
Just don't ask.
Yeah, they took away a lot of the things that kind of made the swords and weapons a lot more unique, if you know what I mean. They've taken away armor penetration and other stuff like that, and I don't know if that was necessarily a good idea.
Where anything came from.
It's not game ruining, but it does. That is a criticism that I'm like, okay, I can concede that was a mistake. As much as I like this game, I can concede I feel that was a mistake because it does rob some of the uniqueness out of this game compared to the first one. Nice. That's still better, so I'm going to keep that. I didn't need to buy that. If I had just bothered to check my inventory, I would have seen that I've got something better. I'm dumb. I am really fucking dumb. And a stick with the higher armor, and my boots. My current boots are better. Take the extra mana or stamina. Let's go to the mall today.
Let me get back to work.
All right, he let us go in.
Let me pass. I have business with the dwarf Javaris and your Arashok.
The short mouth, yes. Enter if you must, Basra.
You go on ahead.
Oh, right.
would rather not.
An awkward time to run off, Isabella.
Ah, you know I'd never leave you. It's just that I really have to leave. Now.
Right, I forgot Isabella can't enter the Kunari compound.
Ah, my right hand arrives.
Summon your heir, Shah. The bargain is done. About time you showed. I've been here for hours.
I like this guy's design. And I do like you can get his armor in the third game.
Ari Shokost, Maras Shokra, Anan Isamkyun.
The Kyun from an elf? The madness of this place.
Tell me that helped.
We shall see.
Yes, well, that said, I'm here to report that your hated Talvishoth were felled, one and all, right? Yes, they were. So, I'm ready to open negotiations for the explosive powder, as we agreed.
No.
He's not getting it. Make your chatty elf say something.
Any insight that would help?
Kunari do not abandon a debt. I humbly request clarification from the Arishok.
I have a growing lack of disgust for you. The dwarf imagined the deal for the Gatlock. He invented a task to prove his worth when he has none.
Then we have wrongly inserted ourselves in your affairs. Would you have us kill this dwarf?
Wait, what now?
If you face Talvishoth, he is not worthy of dying to you, as he was not worthy of dying to them. But you keep good company. Let him live, and leave.
You may want to take this opportunity to go.
But he has to sell. It's a product. People want it.
Yay, capitalist
There is
mentality.
no profit in empowering those not of the Kyun. The means of creating the Gatlock is ours alone.
He has a point.
It shall be dispensed only to our enemies, in the traditional manner.
You are a frustrating people. And you're fired. Sodding bunch of oxmen and dog lords. A whole lot breathing smoke. Pah.
What a loser.
You will leave as well, human. There's no more coin for you here.
You know, actually, so there's a gather your party outside of the Kuhn compound. Let's take a second to throw some of the various equipment we've picked up onto the other party members. Just because I don't want to leave anyone under-equipped in the long run. Because there are points where I technically have to use other characters, so... Oh yeah, I've never actually used him before. Inventory. Yeah, Varric's better equipped. Because I do plan on using Varric. Oh, I forgot to throw Aveline on in here to... Well, I didn't have room, so I needed to give everyone else some stuff as well.
What an awful place this is.
I mean, you're not wrong, Meryl. Drop, add, drop. Yeah, I mean, we're coming right back. We're gonna... No. Oh, wait, that's two-handed. Just one shy of the strength of equipping that. I'm going to hold on to it for her, just since her current weapon, since her default weapon is ass.
Always where you need.
All right. Isabella, Fenris, Carver. Okay. Carry on my wayward son. Oh yeah, we've never actually been inside of the Chantry, have we? Actually, before we do anything else, Meryl. Let's go check on Meryl real quick. Oh yeah, then we should go talk to Anders and Isabella, get their quests. Oh, yep. Good call.
This city is amazing. Do you know I saw someone get mugged? Right outside. It was fascinating. Everything happens here all at once. How does anyone keep it all straight?
I don't think anyone does. Except Varric. And he's probably full of it.
Really? Isn't that sad? It's so busy here. So many things just get lost.
Do you miss the Danish?
I miss Haren Pyvel stories. The creaking of Aravels in the breeze. The city is so busy and confusing. And the elves here are not like my clan. But I'll get used to Kirkwall in time.
Think of it like a game. You can pick up all the things people drop and overlook. Maybe count them.
I think they mostly drop garbage. I'm glad you came by. I needed someone to talk to.
Yeah, Meryl, your eye line is a little too high. Alright, can I go straight to Fenris's mint? Yes, I can. Oh, yeah, and I'll need to probably want to go back and talk to Aveline, too. So yeah, that is just one thing. I guess it's sort of a drawback about this game, is that you do want to be constantly checking in.
We should move
on your party, just to make sure you're not missing anything. And that can take time out of... But it's a BioWare game. It was a BioWare game that came out on in the 360 era, so this was very, very normal, to say the very least, for this sort of thing. Alright, Isabella, there we go.
Maker. I think he's ignoring me now. Hey! Is my coin not good enough for you? Oh, Hawk. Thanks for helping me with that little problem I had. You going to buy me a drink to celebrate our victory?
You drink the swill here.
It's an acquired taste.
And you're not...
Oh, before I forget, you still looking for work? Because I have a friend who needs some help.
Is this a friend or a friend?
I never let him steer my ship, if that's what you're asking. From what I hear, he doesn't have good control of his rudder.
Oh, snap.
His name's Martin. He has a room right here in the Hanged Man. Tell him I sent you. Now, you going to leave me to my drinking or what?
I mean, you're in my party, so technically no. No, I'm not. Let's see. Does this have... I can get approval from Isabella from this quest. Actually, hey, Varric, you got anything for me?
You know, when you stick your hand into people.
Yes, it's,
Hey, who are you?
My, you're jumpy. Look at you, cowering in a corner. What happened to the fearless, dashing raider I used to know?
I'm not a raider anymore, Isabella. I'm just an honest merchant now.
Please, Martin. You wouldn't know honest if I tied you up and spanked you with it.
You tie him up. I'll go find some honesty.
Very funny, Isabella. You said you could find me help. This is the best you could do, eh?
Looks like we're not needed here after all.
Let's not be hasty. I'll take what I can get. I need someone to help me find out where the raiders have hidden my stolen cargo. This job's as easy as a peg-legged tavern wench. And there's good coin in it to boot.
I'll take care of it.
You'll need to look around the docks. The crates bear the seal of the Orlesian Port Authority. So you'll know it when you see it.
You're assuming I know what an Orlesian Port Authority seal looks like.
It's fancy. Just like everything Orlesian.
Yeah.
I've had it with the raiders. And this cargo is the key to me getting on the straight and narrow. You're doing me a huge favor here, friend. Thank you. And be careful.
Oh, wait, really? That wasn't listed as... Oh, okay, yes it was. My brain didn't take into that information. Still, approval with Isabella is what we want. Because as soon as I can get her... Again, it's not that I don't like Isabella, but I do prefer using Barrick as my party rogue. So if I can get her up sooner rather than later, you know, that means that I can go back to using Barrick. It's just there's not a lot of opportunities to up Isabella's relationship with you if she's not actively in your party. Like I said, with Aveline, you get plenty of opportunities to up her friendship just from her personal quests. Like, it ups them enough. You don't really get that with Isabella. You do have to actively work on that with her. All right, let's go check in with Aveline real quick, and then we'll go take the quest. I do like the guards' designs in this game.
Nothing going on, Hawk. You'd be the first to know if there was.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, one thing I do find kind of funny is that you'd think walking around with a staff would be a dead giveaway that you're a mage. But that could also be why there's a lot more blades on the staffs in this game.
I will relay it to him.
So they could say it's like, oh, it's not a mage's staff, it's
Tell
a...
Dumas my scouts have tracked the boy and his Canary captor to the Wounded Coast. I'm taking a full company after them, and when I return, I expect him to make a show of the reward.
So many to deal with one Kunari seems excessive.
He may be Talvashoth. The Winters leave nothing to chance. Get out of my bloody way.
Bitch.
Yes, what is it?
If this is about a rescue, that woman did not seem the type.
She is the type I feared we would attract. As I told the others, Viscount Dumas' son, Seamus, is missing. We suspect he was taken by a Kunari. If you would like to try your hand at securing his safe return, feel free. I have certainly granted no exclusivity to the Winters and their violent approach.
There must be suspicions about why the boy went missing.
Why? What have you heard?
Nothing. Until now.
There is truly nothing known. He is gone, and there have been sightings of a Kunari. The only complication is that Seamus is known to be of a sympathetic mind. He may have placed himself in danger, but it is danger nonetheless.
This isn't a task for a guardsman?
Who cares? We need this.
Yeah,
There is a concern of appearance. If we used guards, it would allow Viscount Dumas' opponents to say this admits the Kunari threat because the city responded. In these times,
public embarrassment is preferable to official embarrassment.
Ready the reward. He'll be back in no time.
Declare it if you like, but the reward goes to whomever brings him back safe.
I'm the protagonist, of course I'll do it.
To have with the Winters, should you encounter them on the Wounded Coast.
Alright, what quest do I want to do next? Let's do this one. Just since this is a smaller area, there's probably not going to be as much. A lot of these might just be simple. Here, I found a thing. Please take it. Okay, again, I'm trying to remember. Is that a Kunari symbol? I don't remember.
I've heard about the Circle of Magi outside of the Imperium, but I've never been in one. Are you certain it's wise for you to be here?
Oh, I'm sure nobody will notice little old me, don't you worry.
Very reassuring. This seems more like a prison. I wonder if it's more effective than the Circle I know.
How is the Imperial Circle of Magi different?
Once upon a time, it was as it is here. The Chantry watched the Magisters closely for any signs of corruption or weakness. Then it changed. The Magisters were permitted to watch over their own, and Templars kept only to enforce the law. What happened next was inevitable. The Magisters rule again, as powerful as they ever were.
You said the Chantry used to watch the Magisters. Why did they stop?
You must remember that the attitude towards magic is different in Tevinter. Magisters came from wealthy families, bloodlines that had nurtured magical talent for countless generations. The Chantry was not trying to control poor peasants, but the scions of the greatest houses in the Imperium.
I thought the Magisters had been thrown down by the Chantry.
On the contrary, Andraste never defeated the Imperium. A great army conquered the south, but not the north. The Magisters eventually surrendered to the Chantry, but they did so on their terms. They kept their influence. Thus, they reclaimed what they lost over the centuries. Some battles are lost by inches.
You're saying the same thing could happen here?
If the mages were permitted to be their own watchers, of course. It is too easy for a mage to resort to blood magic if they feel the need is great enough.
I mean, it's an oversimplification.
Power, justice, revenge, protection. Any cause will do. And then they are
I mean, that's true about any form of perceived power, though. It's not limited to just magic. I want to respond to this.
The ones that are lost should be dealt with.
That is the question, isn't it? Who should deal with them? All I am saying is the Imperium offers no answer. All that Andraste did long ago to end the tyranny of magic has been undone. Power corrupts, as they say, and mages have power enough already.
According to everything I've seen, the Circle can't control mages anyhow.
And what is the alternative? Freedom is a noble ideal, but I see no oppression here. I see fear, and danger. But enough. I'm sure we came here for a reason.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Because it's like, I definitely see his point, but I do not fully agree with the idea that the circle is the solution, you know? Again, not that he's wrong, not that he's necessarily wrong, per se.
Out of here.
More mages. You talk. I'm going to ask the guards about their training.
I know your face. I am Tobias. You and that man are both hawks. I remember your father. Malcolm was a good man.
My father must have left quite an impression. The letter I found was ancient.
I needn't tell his own child how special he was. As to the letter, it pained me to send news of the Templar's death.
The Templar?
He allowed your father to leave Kirkwall. Rule is not served by caging the best of us. A wise man.
Sounds like he didn't quite understand the job.
Doubt can serve the faithful, even as it vexes them. I fear this has been lost.
That's fair.
I will send the letters I held. It seems fitting that they return to family. Such a friendship. Few like your father remain. Even fewer like the Templar. Rest well at the Maker's side, Sir Morivard Carver.
Did Carver leave the party? No, he didn't. Oh, Thrask.
We have found neither hide nor hair of the lad, Fainreal. I can only think he has fallen victim to demons or slavers.
Hold on. That one. Okay.
I found this. It was addressed to you. It seems to be from your daughter.
My daughter? Then... you know what she is. How she died. When I traced her to that warehouse, I should have forced her into the circle. My own weakness in the face of her pleas is what destroyed her. It is why I urged Ariani not to give in when Fainreal wished to hide. If only I had been so strong for Olivia.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about the Templars finding out anymore.
Thank you. She is at peace now. I would not wish to see her name smeared while her ashes are still warm.
Really? I mean, I know that you can get friendship if you blackmail Thrask there, but I didn't think you'd actually lose points with them. Or at least... Do need to be careful about how I'm... Because I really, really did not want to blackmail Thrask in this playthrough, because I often do to get the approval, but I do need to be careful, because I do need to make sure that I at least get... Because you can still romance Fenris if you get a rivalry with them, but I do genuinely want to try to get a friendship with them. I need to be very careful. want to go to... What the... That was weird. That was weird.
Here, I got you something.
Why?
I'm not holding you back with generosity. Just have a look.
These are by Father. Are you sure they aren't meant for you? I bet another mage could get more out of them. For your service that cannot be admitted, I ask that you accept this trinket and know that I shall respect your name. Thank you, Conscience of the Order, Sir Morivar Carver. Carver?
The Templar who allowed Father to leave Kirkwall. Your namesake.
A Templar? Have we met a Templar who isn't a colossal prig?
Well, there you go then.
I wonder how it compares to yours.
I'm sure someone thought far too long about my name. Point is, this was a swordsman.
A man who let him look ahead. It would always mean skill thoughtfully applied. Not exactly master of all blades, but Father actually thought there was worth to a swordsman. Thank you, sister. It's a connection I didn't think was there.
So, I kind of mentioned in, I think it was the first stream we did, given that Carver's model is wearing Grey Warden armor, he can potentially become a Grey Warden. Another thing he can become is a Templar. That being said, there is, what's it called? Both Carver and Bethany kind of have, if I put a word, preferred out. So, if Bethany is alive, she can either become a Grey Warden or join the Circle of Magi. Both characters seem to prefer one over the other. So Carver is actually happier as a Grey Warden than a Templar, and Bethany is actually happier in the Circle of Magi versus being a Grey Warden. Just, yeah. And I think it's just because Bethany, because she had to be a lot more sheltered, just doesn't handle the rougher life of being a Grey Warden as well as Carver does.
Your son decided he'd rather be an elf than a Templar prisoner. He joined the Dalish.
What? But he is human. They did not even wish me to raise him among them. But they do value magic more than the men of Kirkwall. Perhaps he can have both safety and freedom. As I said, I have little money, but this is a Dalish ring that has been in my family for generations. Please accept it with my thanks.
So I realize I haven't saved in a minute, so let's get some let's see. Let's give this to Fenris. Okay, I do admit, playing this again, my opinions about this game haven't changed, but I do realize this game does have some flavor of being more fetch quest themed, I guess, since it does involve a lot of go here, then go here, you know, which I can concede would not be as fun for a lot of people. So, I still prefer this game to the first one, but again, looking at it critically, I can agree. I'm like, this is probably a little more tedious than the first game was for most people because of that fact. Now, personally, I don't mind this format because it's stimulating enough for me, and it does make it a lot more, I don't know, I'm a lot more inclined to actually do
There's the dead drop.
everything.
Hopefully the wardens will appreciate this.
Again, we're going to quickly look at the shops here, and then we'll move on to the next area. Just to be safe.
Please, my mother. Don't let her lose another baby.
I've got 5 kids to feed. Where...
Well, could be they can't afford to go back to Ferelden, but part of me is surprised a lot of the Ferelden refugees here don't go home, you know? Now that the Blight is over and so many people did die, there's probably plenty of work to help rebuild Ferelden, you know? I don't know, just thought. Just a thought. You know, I'm also a little surprised Orlais didn't swoop in and try to take over Ferelden again, since Ferelden almost exclusively fought off the Blight. So you'd think that'd be like an ideal time for them to step in and be like, aha, I get fucked. Alright, on to the next area. Let's... oh. Okay. Back to Gamlen's house. Oh, I still need to go to Anders' place and talk to him to get his quest. Ugh.
What am I, your servant? There's a letter for...
Stop being a dick.
Were you on the desk?
Sweet. Actually, do we have a follow-up conversation?
I'm with you, sister.
No.
For now.
Okay, it doesn't have to be after dark, so let's go talk to Anders. Sup, douchebag?
I had a friend like you once. Got in all kinds of trouble. Dragged me along. Didn't think I'd be doing that again. I got a bit weighty the last time we talked. Sorry for putting that on you.
You'd be surprised how people just tell me their darkest secrets. I must look trustworthy.
You look... something. True. Proud. Like even if you don't agree with me, you'll be honest. I hope I didn't seem too selfish when I told you about justice.
Not really.
I didn't know what would happen. I figured a willing host, a friend. It had to be better than playing the demon and haunting some corpse.
Still creepy.
Fine. What would you do? How would you try to stand against the Templars? You're lucky they never found you. Most of us, they hunt us down before we've even learned our letters. They tell your parents they'll be thrown in prison if they ever ask about you, stripped of their rights in the eyes of the Maker. And if you run away, they hunt you down. Again, and again, and again.
You're starting to glow again.
And since yours is the only head here, and I don't want to rip it off, I should stop. Yes. Sorry. Besides, we have so much to do before the deep roads. Next time, I'll try to keep to more pleasant topics.
Look, I'm not saying Anders is inherently wrong. That's not what I'm getting at, but he is kind of... he is the opposite extreme to the Templars, and this game really does highlight that, and we will get into that. Okay. Okay, let's go to Hightown, if for no other reason, so we can actually go into the Chantry, so we can access it from the overworld map, since we haven't done that yet, so let's rectify that. Plus, I can hit up the Hightown shops and make sure I haven't missed or not make sure, just to see if they have the other... If they have any backpacks or armors in stock for the companions. Oh, hi.
You there, Ferelden. I wish to speak with you.
All right.
I've heard you have dealings with certain elements in the city. You can get things done on the sly, as they say.
That's a fancy way to put it.
I am a magistrate in this city, and as such, I wish to hire you for a small, albeit important, job. A man I sentenced to a life in prison has escaped custody. He's been tracked to an abandoned ruin outside the city. I'd like you to retrieve the fugitive and hand him over to the guard.
Why is there such a clamor to catch this man? What has he done?
He's escaped. That's reason enough to catch him.
We're both intelligent people. There's something in the ruins, isn't there?
There is something, yes. There are creatures in the ruins. The guards I sent are ill-equipped to deal with such beasts.
Do you know what manner of beasts they are?
I don't know what they look like. I've never seen one myself. The guards say these things have already torn through a full company of men.
I'll take the job.
Bring the fugitive in alive, quickly and quietly. Not only will you be well paid, you'll have the gratitude of a city magistrate. Useful for a refugee, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, you're starting to, you know, use your political power to try to leverage bullshit.
Please, can you help me? My brother.
Don't worry. Helping people and killing people are what I'm best at.
I hope there will be no call to kill anyone, Sarah. Karen was always so devout, so idealistic. He was so proud when the Templars accepted him. I pleaded with him not to join the Order, but he wouldn't listen. You hear dark rumors about the Templars and Knight Commander Meredith. And now my brother is gone.
What do people say about Knight Commander Meredith?
Oh, she has many admirers. They laud the service she does in keeping the mages in check. But others say she is terribly fierce and utterly without pity, that she sees demons everywhere. It is dangerous even to whisper such things.
So you think the Templars, what, killed and ate your brother?
Maker forbid. I don't know what happened. He just stopped writing me. I tried to see him, but Knight Commander Meredith threw me out. They won't tell me anything.
I'd be putting myself at risk, possibly crossing the Templars. Why should I do this?
Yeah, okay, that's on me for just...
I have precious little. But if you find my brother, I will manage some way to pay you. Perchance, in your journeys, if you find yourself in the gallows, ask the other recruits, Wilmerd and Hugh, about my brother. They were Karen's closest friends in the Order. If anyone knows where he is, it's them. Maker bless you and watch after you in this endeavor.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily want to fleece this poor girl for money. That's... Hold on, can I... When's the... I don't actually want to... Sorry, I'm reloading. I don't want to bleed this poor girl for money, you know? That's not what I'm going for. We'll have to redo the last two conversations, but again, that's not what I'm going for. And that was me. I jumped the gun just assuming, oh, it was the humorous option, so that's on me. It comes from just how much I have played this particular game. I'm like, oh, I know what the answers are! Tra-la-la! Yeah, I've played like this particular Dragon Age game and Mass Effect 2 and 3. I've played both of those games too much. Or all three of those games too much. Alright, redo this.
You there, Ferelden.
Yeah,
I've heard you have dealings with certain... I'd like you to retrieve the fugitive. There is something...
Please, can you help me? You hear dark. I tried to see him, but Knight Commander Meredith...
Your brother may indeed...
Perchance. Have you seen him?
Again, I do not want to fleece this poor girl out of what little money she's got. So, no, I am not going to be doing that. I don't need the cash. I have access to plenty of money in this game. I mean, I've already got like 30-something sovereigns. I only need 20 more to finance the expedition or whatever, so I'm not worried about money at the moment. Which admittedly is a little bit of a failing on the game development's part, because you're supposed to...
So, will anyone smite me if I tell you I killed the men who wronged your family?
Excuse me, who are... My post to the Chanter's board? Did Her Grace let that stay? I thought for sure no one even read, but you say you've killed them. You have my eternal gratitude, Sirrah. It is comforting to think my parents might now rest easily in their graves.
Your parents probably don't care much at this point, but I hope you sleep a bit easier.
Yes, I hope I will. Thank you. Consider this in advance. When I have secured my lands again, you will be paid royally. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must meet with the Viscount and petition him for aid to a fellow city.
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker, saving the chance that it may reach.
Look what I found. Your reason for living.
Bless my fool spirit, I never thought I'd see that again.
Oakley dokley. Back to Hightown. Yeah, I don't remember if Sebastian doesn't join until Act 2. I do think he might join in Act 1. I just do know he's a late addition to the party, given that he is a DLC character. And unlike Shale, he's a disappointing character. I'm actually glad Dragon Age Inquisition did not have any DLC characters. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't hate them in principle. Shale was great, but she was so unique. I was okay with her being DLC. But, say, like, Javik from Mass Effect 3. Javik should have been in the game. Like, he should not have been DLC. That was bullshit that they made him DLC. And then Kasumi in Mass Effect 2 didn't add a ton outside of helping you get a better option or a better outcome in the third game. I don't know.
That's unlikely. She wasn't even working.
Carver, what would Mother say?
Actually, hold on. Well, no, we can talk to Athenril first.
Huh. Well, I just lost a sovereign. Didn't think you'd stoop to our kind again.
Neither did I.
Or are you not too proud to make some coin?
Pride usually hasn't been my downfall.
Since you stormed off, we don't have anyone who can quite work your magic, if you know what I mean. I sent some men to fence a bit of cargo down at the docks. Haven't seen them since. I'd pay good silver for the safe return of them, or the goods.
Is this anyone I know?
When you left, we had to take on New Ferelden. Volunteers. Lad named Price was leading them. No one of your caliber.
Consider it a deal.
Good. Go to the docks tonight. My boy Price was supposed to meet our buyers from the Carta there. Maybe you can find out what happened.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was the case. I've just sort of accepted this playthrough. Like I said, it's possible to get Carver's friendship up, but at this point, yes, I know I'm using a approval guide for Fenris and Isabella, but this time round, I'm really just, I'm like, trying to play through the game and just kind of do it. This is sort of normally how I play through, just to get the outcome. Don't get me wrong, Carver's character arc is a hair more interesting when we actually become friends. Oh wait, is there no shop in here?
My day is complete.
Never mind. I don't think there's an actual shop in here. Alright, we're good. Oh, by the way, I think it's just in Act 1, if you come into the Blooming Rose with Meryl, she'll actually be like, why is it called a brothel? Do they sell broth or something? And that's a terrible Meryl impression.
Thought of hiding.
Recognize it.
I'm always hesitant to enchant
So you could
weapons and armor this early in the game. Just since it's like, if I enchant something, I then have to physically come back here to pull them off if I get a better, well, anything for that matter, you know?
There are no hunters after you at all.
And it's not as convenient as, well, even then, going back to camp was not always the most convenient thing in the world in the first game. But at the same time, because of all the DLC I had for the first game, Yeah, it was... Well, I got the best weapons and armor so fast that I don't need to worry about that a ton.
I heard you lost something.
I will talk to you in a second. I do just want to finish looking at everyone's shop, and then we will chit-chat. That's right. Yeah, I basically just blew a fuck ton of the sovereigns I was saving up, but these are arguably more important in the long run. There's too many abilities I want right now. I'm gonna upgrade my greater healing. I'm gonna upgrade my healing to greater healing.
Hear you're having problems with the bone pit. I can help.
Ah, finally someone comes to help me. You look a bit unseasoned, but I hope you'll do.
Hello, King Scorpio. How's it going? Yeah, I'd say the stream's been going pretty good so far. I keep accidentally pissing off Fenris, but other than that, it's good. And I did miss a couple opportunities to increase Isabella's friendship, but I don't really care that much. I can live with it.
I'll head there soon.
The sooner the better. Each day the mine is not running costs me more than those miners make in a year.
And that means you should be paying them better, ass crack.
Any map will show it.
That guy's another example of capitalism. It's great. It's totally a good thing, Tommy. I'm doing a good thing for these people doing back-breaking labor.
What do you mean you can't help me?
It means I cannot help you, little Johnny. I do not know why I'm doing my really shitty Alan Rickman impression. But it makes me happy, so I'm going to keep doing it for the moment.
Useless. Why are we still paying those sluggards?
I'm so glad that Evelyn's not here. She would not have approved that.
You should pay someone else. Like me. I like being paid.
You're such a sassy, catty little brat talk, and I love you for it.
That foolish woman has caused me nothing but embarrassment. She needs to be dragged home.
You should treat your wife.
She's your wife, not a dog.
Testify, Isabella.
At least a dog could be trained.
Okay, I don't like you no more.
Getting suspicious. They think I might have done something to her. Even if... Well, I just want to make sure they know I didn't do it.
Do you think Ninette might be in trouble?
It's her own doing. Gallivanting about with men half her age. She's just trying to show me I am tied to her purse strings.
I'll try my best to find Ninette and bring her home.
You should talk to Jethan at the Blooming Rose. I didn't know she visited whores. Until Jethan sent a letter to our house. He even sent her flowers once. Lilies. Her favorite. Talking about it makes my head hurt. Good luck to you, Sarah. I offer a bounty for the return of my wife.
Sorry, Isabella, but I want this quest. I'm sorry. I don't necessarily want to bring her home either, but I also don't want to miss the quest. I don't know, maybe I could have dropped her from the party before. I wish there was... Okay, that is one thing that I will say I do prefer about the first game. It's easier, for the most part, to change out your party. Yeah, no, you need to actually hit the party swap points. Still, I've got plenty of time to build the friendship with Isabella and Fenris. It's just I want to build friendship with them sooner rather than later. Just, again, once Isabella's friendship is to a point that I'm comfortable, I do want to go back to having Varric in the party. But I digress. Like I said, I'm metagaming the fuck out of this, but that's just because I want to get my favorite outcomes for the characters. But yeah.
Today's my rest day, but I'll make an exception for you. What can I say? Why work if you're not working hard?
Oh, I like him. He reminds me of someone.
Severin,
Can't
probably.
imagine who.
I can see why Nanette liked you. You're feisty.
A refreshing change from the pale slug I married. I hear she finally left her worthless husband. Good for her. I just wish she'd said goodbye.
Do you think Nanette has come to harm?
I hope not. Everyone loves Nanette. Sometimes twice a night. Ghislaine's the only one who might hurt her, and he doesn't have the balls for it.
Ghislaine knew about you and Nanette. Did he talk to you?
The man is incapable of talking. He came here, yelled at me, called me a dirty knife-eater, among other things, and accused me of corrupting his wife. We had him thrown out.
Were you hoping Nanette would leave Ghislaine for you?
Of course not. I know my place. I offer a service, that's all. Anyway, there was someone else looking for Nanette. A Templar. I believe his name was Emmerich. He wouldn't sleep with me either. I can't see why a Templar would be interested in anyone who isn't a mage.
Someone else Nanette spent special alone time with, perhaps?
She always liked men in uniform. You could ask him yourself. Emmerich said he'd continue his investigation in Darktown. You could see if he's still there.
Yeah.
And if you find Nanette, tell her to drop by and see me sometime.
Okay, I never noticed that he made like that hip thrust movement there with his hands in my
again.
past playthroughs.
Sure you're not interested in
Oh,
my
wait.
many services?
Right.
I was just passing through.
Have it your way.
Right. At least until the quest is complete, I think, or maybe the Act 1's complete. You can come back for free sex with him if you want. Wait. What was the name?
All Asians, darling. You get used
Sabine's brat. I know that name. Why do I know Sabine?
And waiting for you
Oh, there's Mirren. Like, we didn't talk to him in this playthrough, but he's the mercenary leader we could have signed up with instead of a Thenril.
I won't mention this to your mother if you don't.
No, I won't, Gamlin. I'm not judging.
I'll get your order in a minute.
Again, I don't love you, Gamlin, but I don't hate you either, so I'm more than willing to look the other way. Nope. Okay, you talk to her if you want to sleep with someone. I do not. Mostly because I think sleeping with anyone here does ruin your chances to romance Fenris. I could be wrong. I admit, I know some people think it's a little abusive that Fenris will not be with you if you've slept with someone else, and, I kind of feel there's an argument to be made there, but despite that, I still do like him as a character, and he is my favorite romance in this game, so we're gonna shoot for him. I'm gonna shoot for the moon. Shoot for the moon. Actually, fun fact, when I first played through this game, I had every intention of romancing Meryl because she checked off so many of my personal interests. But I just ended up liking Fenris so much as I played the game, I'm like, I want to touch that elven butt. Give me that butt. Because first, initially, I was playing... Because I played a mage, and I was very pro-mage, but just a combination of every awful thing that I saw the mages in this game doing, combined with just wanting to touch that elven ass. I ended up playing kind of a self-hating mage, which was kind of interesting, honestly. Here, let's do this one. Yeah, again, to say the very least, it was kind of interesting. Oh, wait. Could I have still gotten... Shit. Could I have still gotten that quest if I don't know. It's just... I've always was under the impression that saying no to a quest... Sorry, I was just looking at Isabella's approval guide. And just kind of what it was saying about the quest made it seem like I could have told... what's her name? Her husband to fuck off. And potentially still gotten the quest, which I didn't think was the case, but whatever. Oh, great. Oh, shot, they're back. It's like, I thought we wiped you guys all out. Like, that was kind of part of the whole potentially gaining the Kunari approval for that, you know, bullshit quest that dwarf's cooked up. This is how we do it.
And the world's rid of one more Canary. Easier than I expected. Call the men back. We've got an appointment with the Viscount. Isn't that right, Seamus?
Ashad! You killed him! You Vashedan bitch!
That one of their words. See, that's why you need to be dragged home. You're playing too nice with those things. I'll wager you've gone even further than that. Haven't you, brat?
A little rough for a rescue, don't you think?
Competition? Well, you're too late. The Winters, I, have already claimed him.
Sirrah, if I must go back, so be it. But I will not see these murderers rewarded.
Spoiled shit! I'll cut out your tongue and charge extra for bringing you back quiet. And as for you, I could do with some entertainment while we wait for the others. And here we go again.
Yeah, what a bitch.
and good riddance, but she said she was waiting for more.
Yep.
A lot more.
Yep.
Well, let them come.
Agreed, Carver.
Strip the camp, and we'll ready a fitting welcome. Now we fight!
Yeah, we didn't really have time to strip the camp.
Oh, Andraste. I've never seen so many corpses. So much blood.
Soil yourself later. There may be more.
You ready? I'm ready.
A shard never lied, never coddled. You were worth his time, or you are not. They are not the brutes others claim they are. Take me to my father, and I will try again to make him see.
We'll leave soon enough, Seamus. Be ready.
I am at your...
Seamus is one of those characters that kind of pops in and out of the story enough that when I first played this game in college, I actually kind of completely forgot he existed until I got to the final quest that he was involved with, and I was like, wait, who is he again? So, yeah, just, if you play this game, just kind of remember Seamus, because, again, his story does play out. He is a reoccurring character that his story plays out throughout the game.
I am ready to leave. And you have coin to collect, I'm sure.
Let's go, Seamus.
Then take... Father.
My son. I thought I'd lost you.
Enough, Father.
Allow me to present one Sarah Hawke, Your Excellency. She fulfilled the bounty.
You have my gratitude. I hope you encountered no great difficulties on my son's behalf.
No problems to speak of, aside from the crowd that tried to kill us.
I was told the Winters had involved themselves. Was there no way to avoid an incident?
They murdered my friend. Where is the concern for that?
It was my understanding you were captured alone. Foolishly traipsing about the coast as you do.
I was not captured. I was with a shard. The Kunari. They are not monsters to be feared. If you would just try to understand, others would see as well.
Better that you were thought abducted than to have their influence suspected in my own family. Benign or not, it's too much.
What?
little too much insight into the office for me.
Your actions are appreciated. The Seneschal will see you out.
Got some from Isabella. It does just kind of cancel out what I lost from the, what's it called, first sacrifice. Okay. But still. Okay. Is there any more from first sacrifice for her? No. All I could have gotten from that is... Okay, sadly looks like I've missed most of the opportunities to build affection with Fenris in Act 1. Poop. Oh well.
I hear you're in need of a bit of help.
Ah, so you're the reinforcements the magistrate promised? The man
sure.
you're looking for, he's holed up in the ruins. Though I doubt
Okay,
he's
so it
still
is
in
this
one
quest.
piece.
That bastard's to be brought in alive after all he's done? Just because it isn't you and your pretty little Shemlin children he's after.
Look at these guards. I doubt either of them has to worry about having pretty children.
Ooh, shots fired.
That's not what I meant. The man you're after, he targets elves. He dragged my daughter into those ruins and killed her! I want him dead! My girl, Leah, she wasn't his first victim. Over the years, he's taken dozens of our children, and not once has he paid for his crimes.
Would you mind telling me who you are?
My name is Elrin. I'm a merchant in the city. Please, no one else cares that our children are being slaughtered like beasts.
Why only elves? Why not human children as well?
We're easy prey. No one thinks twice when an elven child disappears.
I'll tear his throat out myself.
Thank you, Sarah. You have no idea what this means. For all my damn coin, I'm still only an elf to these Shemlin. There'll be no justice for my girl in the courts of Kirkwall.
What do you say about all this?
They won't go in after him. They're stalling, trying to give the murdering bastard a chance to get away.
Oi now, elf. Like we said before, you're bleeding mad if you think we'll be going against the magistrate's orders.
This murderer cannot be allowed to walk free.
Then that bastard will finally get what he deserves. Thank you.
Not wise, stranger. You try to take justice into your own hands, the magistrate will have your head.
Better men have tried, and failed. Horribly.
To arms!
Oh, look, spitters. My favorite. I love the big Cryptocrawlus spitters.
Good stuff.
Which way is forward?
Here we go!
Are you What are these raiders? Remember the raiders? This quest last time.
Nicely done.
She still probably don't have enough.
Only that will.
Yep. Pretty sure she needs like cunning 20 to pick that, to pick the standard locks. Isabella, level up, damn it.
We're on what a surprise. Gotcha. One less to worry about. Go down! I'll deal with it.
I'm gonna save real quick, just because there are... So I'm looking at the approval guides, and there's potentially a few outcomes. I kind of want to make sure I get the best outcome for what I'm going for, you know? So I want to make sure that I have a point that I can reload to. Spiders! You know, I find it funny, you know, when he's like, oh, I can't tell you what creatures are in there. I have not laid eyes upon them myself. And it's like, it's spiders. It's literally giant fucking spiders. These were like some of like the base enemies that you encountered in like games like Skyrim. What the actual flying Christicles do you mean you can't describe them? Your imagination is shite if you cannot describe fucking spiders. Go out more. Smoke some weed or something. Yeah, no, better yet, smoke some magic mushrooms and try to defy gravity and shit.
Well, at least it's not boring.
And again, I'm speaking as someone who played for, or maybe he was talking to these walking corpses. I don't know. I'm someone who could, okay, maybe, or it could be the arcane horror. It could be that. Again, I'm someone who is speaking, someone who is deathly afraid of spiders. Like, I cannot handle spiders. And if I encountered one this big, I would be just so paralyzed with fear that the spiders would just have me dead instantly. Because I just would have such a freeze response, you know? But still, I kind of feel like I would still expect way more than just a spider for a whole I can't describe it. Like I said, maybe it's actually the arcane horrors or the shambling corpses or whatever that he was referring to. Still, I'm gonna make fun of him. I'm gonna make fun of them hard. Regardless, can I go through that door? No, I can't. Okay, just wanted to double check that this was indeed the way forward. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace until you are. Oh, there you are.
Who are you? Please, can you get me out of here? I just want to go home.
Leah? Your father told us you were dead.
My father? Is he safe? Kelder said that he'd hurt my family if I didn't come with him.
Creep.
Who is Kelder?
The man who took me.
How did you escape your dastardly kidnapper? Kick to the groin? Sand in the eyes? Rock to the head?
Kelder? No, he let me go. I tried to make it to the entrance, but I hid when those creatures showed up. I thought I heard him calling for me. I almost went back to him. I didn't want to be eaten. But Kelder, he hit me, told me I was nothing. I begged him to stop hurting me. I didn't think he would, but out of nowhere, he pushed me away and just started crying. Don't you see? He didn't mean to hurt me. He told me. There are demons. They make him do these horrible things.
I'll have to remember to use that. A demon made me do it.
But it's true. How else could he do something like this?
He's mentally ill.
She's a child and does not understand. Her pity is admirable, but misplaced.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, he's a dead man.
But it's not his fault. It's not.
Run to the entrance. You'll find your father there.
Yeah, am I technically being insensitive to people with mental illness? Yeah, probably, but the fact that he's the Magister is covering up his crimes, it's not a good thing. Okay, like the synergy there between Carver and Fenris doing the same attack in, you know, synchronized, that was great. Okay, I appreciate the level up, but Isabella's the one I really need to level up. I really need her to get more. Game is over. Really need her to get more cunning. Oh wait, that's not a passive. I don't know if I can have the whole give people my or my elemental type while still having my healing aura on, so I'm not gonna take it.
I knew my father would eventually send someone. I was hoping the beasts down here would get to me first.
You wanted those creatures to kill you. Why?
It's what I deserve. I should be torn apart, forgotten down here, not protected by my father.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't cut you down where you stand.
Do it. Kill me. Slit my throat. That's the only way the whispers will stop. I asked my father to do it, but he wouldn't. He didn't tell you, did he? The Magistrate is my father. He's tried so hard to keep me, and what I've done, hidden away.
Not hard enough, so it seems.
I'm not here to discuss the Magistrate.
Father is a good man. He tried to help, to stop me, but he can't.
Sorry, the guide I got says I can potentially get more approval if I'm more aggressive.
She had no right to be so beautiful, so perfect. The demons said she needed to be taught a lesson, like all the others. The Circle was supposed to help me, but they lied. They said there were no demons, that I was mad. This isn't my fault.
Leah said you told her to run. Why?
I was crying, and she asked me if I was all right. After everything the demons made me do to her, she was concerned about me. How could I let them destroy something so good, so pure?
If the Circle suspected a demon at work, they wouldn't risk setting you loose in the city.
No, they lied.
Coward. Doesn't even have the balls to own up to his own depravity.
I can't stop. I've tried so many times. Please, you have to kill me. There's no other way.
He sees the truth of it. Allow me to grant his wish, if you will not.
Any last words before he kills you, Kelda?
Tell my father. I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't get... So I didn't get any Fenris approval from that. Sorry, let's try that again. Okay, I'm gonna kill him this time. See what happens. It's because it was saying I could get plus 15 approval with Isabella if I aggressively kill him or whatever. So let's see if that actually pans out. Okay, let's try that again. Blah, blah.
I knew my father would eventually say, do it. He's
not hard enough, sir.
That the circle was supposed to help.
He sees the truth of it. Allow me to grant his wish, if you will not.
Goodbye, Kelda.
Okay, no. Got better. I got a better outcome with that. Glad that's what I went with. I'm surprised I didn't get any Fenris approval from that, though. I mean, I have a Fenris guide here, too, and I knew I wasn't going to. It just seems odd. You think that'd be something Fenris would have approval on, you know?
You saved her. My little girl. I didn't dare hope... Did you find that monster? Is he dead?
We could bring him back as the undead and then kill him again.
No, that's all right. I'd rather he stay dead. I didn't believe an elf could ever get justice in Kirkwall. I speak for all of us when I say that we are in your debt, Sarah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever actually brought him in.
Knife is the next man. But ignoring the magistrate's direct orders, that's madness.
Well, technically it wasn't a direct order. He offered to hire me, and I said, fuck the police. There's a difference. Just because you don't see it that way doesn't mean that, you know, and I'm just going to stick with what I said. I just said, fuck the police. Quest updated. Magister's orders. Is it updated or? Oh no, there is a follow-up to it. Let's just let's get that quest in the bag. I've only got. I mean, at max, I've got 4. Oh dear, my video stopped. My stream stopped. Okay, the stream is still going. It just my playback stopped. At absolute most, I've got 45 minutes. I probably want to end sooner than that if I can. I have not been able to wake up as early as I normally would like to do these. And I might be able to do another stream later today, but I've also got to make sure I have time to go bring Abby lunch. Because she's working all day, and the fucktard she's working with turned up ridiculously late, so... Yeah, I'll say the very least. Abby and I are slowly starting to hate dance competitions because... they lack professional courtesy from a lot of what she's been dealing with. Hey, fucker.
You dare show your face to me again. If you know what's good for you, you'll leave my city and...
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna stick around and I'm gonna keep fucking with you, fuckhole. Alright, let us... Shoot, which one? What is Act of Mercy again? Like, what is this quest? Okay. Right. This is... Yeah, okay. You know what? I do not want to have Isabella and Fenris in this party together, because I cannot... Any new letters? No. Okay, what matters more to me, Isabella or Fenris? Possibly Fenris? I feel I may have missed a lot. Okay. Let's do Varric. Yeah, we're gonna... Since I fubberknocked a couple of Fenris's affection that I can get in Act 1, we're gonna go with the boost his affection with this route.
I knew this would happen.
Did you, though? Like, for real, did you, though? Huh. Texture.
Mistress Hawk.
So much for not attracting Templar attention.
For real?
Ariane tells me you sought a better path than the Circle for her son, Fainriel. I thought perhaps you would be willing to show mages a kindness once more.
Do I know you?
I am Sir Thrask of the Templars.
Okay.
I know from the compassion with which you treated Fainriel that you are someone who cares for the fate of apostate mages.
What? You can't be nice yourself?
So yeah, if I blackmailed him and you say, who are you? He's like, sure, you remember the person you're blackmailing or whatever.
There are a number of apostates hiding in those caverns. I was hoping you might speak to the group. convince them to surrender peacefully before my fellow Templars arrive.
Who are these apostates? Where did they come from?
These are the mages of the former circle at Starkhaven. It burned to the ground, and their Templars sent for us to relocate the survivors. Unfortunately, they escaped on the journey. With their phylacteries burned, it has been nearly impossible to track them.
Yeah, I know what a phylactery is.
If you've got this many mages escaping, you Templars aren't too good at your jobs.
These mages have shown they attack Templars on sight. You have a better chance than I to convince them they are better off alive in the Circle than free and dead. Sir Karas hunts them as well. If they have not surrendered by the time he arrives, this will be a bloodbath.
Wait, hold on. Did I mess that up? No. The approval from Fenris doesn't come until after we actually engage them in combat. You know, something I also fucking hated about my college roommates, and again, I feel less bad about saying this because this game's like 14 years old, but he kept pointing out, like, oh, that image right there, that's massive spoilers for the end of the game. I'm like, you don't need to tell me that, douche canoe. Let me experience the game just on its own. Battle axe. Okay, hopefully with you guys leveling up, that means when Isabella rejoins the party, she'll be leveled up too. Hold on.
To arms!
Oh no, dead bodies are getting up and about. But yeah, you might be recognizing, like, we've technically been in this cave design, I think, twice already in this playthrough. This is definitely where many of the consistent complaints about this game that I hear about come up, is that it's like you keep going to the same areas over and over and over again. And yeah, valid. I will say in universe, though, it makes sense. Since, again, this whole game takes place in a single city. Yeah, if there was, you know, mage rebellions or whatnot, you would ultimately end up in a lot of the same places. I'm not saying it's not something worth criticizing, but I will say I'm willing to overlook it just because, again, from a meta-textual standpoint, it makes sense.
Maker's blessing. I thought I was going to die down here in this tomb. Are you with the Templars? Please, I need to go back to the Circle. I never wanted to get involved in this. Not when he started making those things.
Who is he?
Decimus. It was his decision. He kept saying the Templars would label us blood mages if we fled. Why not use it if it's our best tool?
Typical excuse.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with
He slit his
Fenris
wrist,
on
and
this
the
one.
magic, it rose from the blood and woke the skeletons in the cave. I ran. Decimus is wrong. Blood magic is a work of evil, not just a power the Templars keep from us for spite.
Decimus is the leader of these mages.
He's crazy. He said with our phylacteries gone, no one could find us. We would be free. I think maybe he set the fire. There must be a demon working through him. No normal man would profane the dead like this.
Someone starts raising undead, and it's all downhill from there.
I've been at the Circle since I was 6. I've heard about demons, blood magic. They warned us, but I never thought I'd see it. The rest of them, they're still following Decimus. He's gone mad. I think he'd kill us all just to take the Templars down.
So Thrask waits outside. You will be safe there.
Sorry, part of me is now like, should I have actually brought Isabella instead? Just, no, I'm sticking with Fenris. And like I said, I fubbernucked a number of ways of getting friendship with him in this first chapter. I think it would be good to make up for it. And I'll just need to do better with Isabella next chapter. I pray to God. I mean, this wouldn't be like when I streamed the first Mass Effect, I accidentally fucked over a few things that I didn't mean to. So I kind of hope I haven't accidentally done that here.
They're here. The Templars have come to take us back to the Circle.
Decimus, no! Stay your hand. These are no Templars.
What do I care what shield they carry? If they challenge us, the dead themselves will meet the call.
Yep, he's crazy. That's a lot of arrows that guy took to the knee.
I'll deal with it.
Enough.
You killed him. Oh, Decimus. You should have listened to me, love. I saw what you are. How could you murder one of your own just for daring to defy the Templars?
You think he brought those skeletons to life to serve me tea?
I warned him. I told him once he
Yeah,
marked himself
he
as a blood
attacked
mage,
us,
that was all
bitch.
anyone would see.
Are we supposed to believe that you had no part in his actions?
I swear to you, I have had no truck with demons. Please, we only want our freedom. Without your help, the Templars will execute us all for Decimus's crimes.
Why not? It's not like I'll be joining the Templars anytime soon.
Then we must first throw off pursuit. There is a Templar who followed us. You must have met him when you entered. Kill him, and we can get clear of Kirkwall before the Templars send more men.
Excuse me.
These are blood mages. Not like you or Bethany. And what do you think happens if we start killing Templars?
Yeah.
Will you buy us time to flee Kirkwall?
No.
Oh, just a little murder, is that it? No.
Then lay down your
shoot.
arms. I'm
Okay.
trying to save our lives, not throw them
Guys, I
away.
apologize if you're hearing that. It
will
sounds
come.
like my complex
I'll
is
make sure the way out is
mowing right outside my window. They've never done that on Saturday morning before. So I apologize if you heard that. Again, this is kind of the... how do I put this? Kind of the crux. Because I do think playing sort of a self-hating mage is an interesting approach to this game, honestly. And I think kind of like the crux you should approach this with is that it's like, well, I don't use blood magic. That means I'm better than you. Although one of these days I should try to really just play... I should play this game as a mage that just fully embraces the magic, you know, and actually use the blood magic subtype and just really roleplay that out, you know. I think the problem, my problem I know for a fact is I'm too much of a Fenris simp that I have a hard time committing to that. It's like, but if I do that, then I can't romance Fenris.
I just want to get out of here.
Sorry, 1 second. I need to do something.
And here we go.
Oh, now we have to fight back through more. Decimus is dead, broski. Why are the skeletons... You know, come to think of it, even in the playthrough where I did support the mages, I never agreed to kill Thrask just due to the fact it's like, no, while I support mage freedom, I'm not all about Templar murder or whatever. So, I've never actually agreed to kill Thrask. So I don't actually know. Okay, you know what? I might, just on my own, after I'm done with this stream, I might actually do another playthrough of this game just for my own personal satisfaction, just to see how these things play out, you know? 'Cause I'm really curious.
Are you saying there isn't anyone inside? Then where did that apprentice come from?
I followed the tracks from the caravan site, but the boy says the others already left.
Don't lie, Thrask. I know you're soft on the robes. I followed the same tracks and... What do we have here?
Would you believe a group of innocent picnickers?
Who is this, Thrask? Now you require mercenaries to carry out your duties.
I was hoping to avoid bloodshed by sending a neutral party to negotiate.
Well, much obliged. Now let's take these demon worshippers to the chopping block. Knight Commander wants them executed before Orsino hears about it.
No! And you wonder why we fear them? Please, you must protect us. I think maybe we all need to take a deep breath. Start over. Grace, this is Thrask. Thrask...
The Circle is a sanctuary, not a prison. If you kill these people, I will see you disciplined by the Divine herself.
Knight Commander says no rebel robes get to preach to the tame ones.
Are you truly going to send us off with this monster?
Monster or not, he's a better bet than a demon.
Then we truly have no hope. You seem a decent man, Templar. I must place the lives of all these people in your hands.
Don't count on him being around long enough to help you, Sunshine.
I will do all I can. I swear you this.
Well, that did get him back more onto the friend side, so that's good. Yeah, still kind of a dick move, I acknowledge. Okay, do I have to go... Is there an exit out this way? It might have to go all the way back, but let's see. Oh no, there is an exit here. Cool, cool, cool. Before we go to the bone pit, let's... Actually, there is a horn in Meryl's house. Let's just stop by there. throw Isabella back in the party, and actually we're probably going to want to call that there. Yeah, again, I slept in... Any...
By the dread wolf.
Okay, good. Alright, let's get Isabella some more cunning. Fuck it, I'm throwing all of it into cunning. Right. Okay, I'm just gonna plop us in the bone pit, and then I will be probably calling it there. I just want to be here, just so when we come back, we can just go right into it, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you all for joining me. Again, I'm sorry I started late, so it wasn't as long as I thought, and I can't go longer because I got other stuff I gotta do. There may be another stream later this evening. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I'll have time to fit it in. My plate is very full right now. Edgelord stream will happen tomorrow like normal. If I'm able to wake up on time. Again, my sleep schedule. I have not been able to get a lot of sleep lately, but yeah. I'm not sure when, but I'll see you guys then. Have a good rest of your day. Oh, the Edgelord poll is still ongoing. I don't have any immediate plans of closing it, mostly just due to the fact that currently Pikmin 4 is winning, and if that does win, I don't need to do a follow-up vote, so that's gonna stay up for a while still. Anyway, not sure when, but I'll see you then. Have a good rest of your day.